Toffee TV, it's the final word. Everton 1, Lyon 2. I wanted to say nil then. I wanted to say nil, but it was 2. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. We're heading towards 20,000. Click the bell for alerts, and if you want to watch more videos, join us on Patreon. Simple as that. Yeah, so that's basically that, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Our little soiree with Europe is done.
Yeah. Unless, we can pull ourselves together and somehow miraculously win 3 games.
And that's what it is now, isn't it? It's basically 3
It'd have to be, wouldn't it?
Isn't it?
And that wouldn't even guarantee a top spot. Well, it wouldn't guarantee.
No, that's not top
No,
spot.
I know. But we've got the lowest number of points of any English team ever.
Breaking records, it's good.
It's embarrassing. Well, yeah, in a week when someone else broke some records in a UEFA competition, that nothing else screams Everton more than that, does it really? We always have to try and better them on something.
We do. That's what we do.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I don't know. It's just hard, isn't it? I mean, we're recording this podcast at like 1 o'clock in the morning after the game, and I just feel.
It's not a podcast either.
Yeah, I don't care, mate. I don't care. We've just been talking off camera for about an hour about podcast.
We have.
I just feel really drained by it all, to be honest. I just feel really, really drained because, as I said, we're going to have to win 3 games now. And before, dismiss winning 3 games, it's possible because obviously the toughest of those 3 has got to come to Goodison Park. So I suppose it is capable, but regardless of that doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, the team tonight, what were your thoughts when you heard the team tonight?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, listen, you look at the team, don't you, and you go, I don't want to make snap judgments. You look at the team and just think, okay, let's see how they play, because let's be honest, no one's turning up any trees for us, the Martina thing at left back was a bit odd. Williams back in, I thought he'd come back in, and we'd done that on the Koeman team. We thought he'd pick. Had no issue with Morales really coming back in. Everyone else has had to go and haven't done anything. You look at the biggest thing for me, what I have to say, was he played the wrong defensive midfield player. I thought Garner should have started with Davies because I thought we'd have energy and stuff. But maybe the height thing with Schneidel was an issue. And Rooney not being in the 18. There's a section of Everton fans who want to blame us being not great on Wayne Rooney, and it's ridiculous. In my opinion, it's absolutely ridiculous. Wayne Rooney isn't Everton's problem. There's 10 other problems in that side because we're not playing as a team. So when I looked at the team, my initial thing was, okay, Baines isn't playing, but give it a go and let's see what happens, because they might just come together and produce something. But
yeah, I was surprised he wasn't even on the bench. But then you look at, as I say, Martina playing left back is symptomatic of the squad not having another left back. That's a decision the managers.
The two things for me, and it just keeps coming back, is that you'd have to look at it now and say it's negligence. We haven't got a centre forward and we haven't got a left back, and that's to me. Every time I go over it, I just think it's getting worse. Now Baines is playing well as a left back, but he's just not doing anything further up, and that's why people are looking and going, oh, he's not the same player now, we need a new left back. Probably just as a left back he's alright, he's got on ahead of him, but when he's not there we have to play a right back at left back, and that to me is just
we still played the way crazy. That was the thing, we're still playing the way we've been playing every game without real width. Okay, Morales came in today and gave us a little bit more, but do that on both sides and just stick to it. My biggest problem with the team is the fact that it's changed massively again. That's my biggest problem. Why does it need to change so much every single game? Let's get some stability,
But isn't he just trying to find something?
He's not going to find it. doing this, because I think it's the detriment of other players. I look at Michael Keane's performance tonight, and I thought he was. I thought it was probably his worst game in an Everton shirt. I thought he was terrible. Oh, I thought he was terrible. I thought he was horrendous. The amount of times he was slipping and letting people get the other side of him, and I thought he was really poor. And I think what doesn't help him. I mean, number one, he's coming. The confidence isn't going to be there, but he's got a different right back. He's got a different centre back partner. He's got a different left back. Everything changes round him. There's no stability, and I think that's the biggest problem. There's now a different man in front of him instead of two men in front of him. Everything's just changing round, and
But hang on, we've called for Garner and Schneiderlin to be broken.
I understand that, and I'm not
manager on one hand.
Well, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that the right back or the left back.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's fair enough.
Do you know what I'm saying? I know he's had the same right back for the two games. I just mean that, can we not nail down what we are, please, first?
No.
And I don't think
we're struggling.
I don't think Koeman's going to be allowed. Well, I don't know if he's going to be allowed to do that, but he's certainly not doing that, and that's what worries me most. I think I think managers who struggle the most struggle because they don't know themselves what's going on and can't put the finger on it. And if you look at Koeman as a manager, I look at him and go, you haven't got a clue. You don't know what you don't know how to solve these problems, because if you do, or you did, you would trust in a system and you would say, lads, play your way out of trouble. Okay, or players, or like getting 8 players in the team every week. I look at it at the moment and I just see, and don't get me wrong, some of those changes tonight were for the positive. I welcomed, oddly enough, Morales back. I welcomed the fact that Dominic Calvert-Lewin was up front, but can we just stick to something and just run with it? You know, tonight it was different because you used one Oldham midfield instead of 2. We've called for that. Can we stick with that? I mean, we might do anyway because obviously Snyder picked up an injury. But can we not stick to a way of playing now? But I thought tonight, I still thought wide positions for the first maybe 25 minutes. There was no one there, and then I don't know, it clicked and looked like Vlasic sort of went and stuck out a little bit, and Morales stuck out a little bit, and it started to work. And I think once we got that width and that ability to go wide, I thought we played a hell of a lot better, and I think it opened up the space in the middle. But obviously, you know, this was after we were 1-0 down, and well, it was very, very, you know, it was a poor decision by Holgate, but really the players not going anywhere. You know, I thought it was poor to give them the yard in the first place, but the lad's not really going anywhere. You can do many things in football, but you can't stick a leg out in the box. You just can't.
He just wellied them. It reminded me of the Ghana one, you know, when this first game in the friendly, like Goodison, you could see it. I could see it before he'd even gone near him. He knew what he was going to do. And the lad that did, ironically, I think the lad that did the ball too hard anyway. I think if Holgate just runs at him, I think it might have even gone out for a goal kick, and he just swings a leg at it, and it's a penalty. It's no argument. It's a stonewall penalty. And Fekir puts it in the corner net. Pickford has only saved one of his last 13 penalties, and that was in Split, which is mad, isn't it? And yet he saved one for the 21s, didn't he? But now for club football, he's one of the last 13. But you're 1-0 down, and all your plans are out the window. You know, if you're Ronald Koeman and you're up against it already, or you're struggling, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot in the first 5 minutes.
No.
And we did. But I know what you're saying about the width and stuff, but it didn't make, to me, it just didn't make any difference. Calvert-Lewin was still isolated. His hold-up play's not good enough to have him isolated, and when he did try to get hold of it, no one was anywhere near him. So it was just the same. You see, we're talking about systems. I think we play the same system every week. I don't think that ever changes.
Oh no, that's what
I think. What it is it doesn't change. The personnel can't play it. If you're playing 4-3-3, which allegedly Ronald Koeman would tell you that's what he plays.
4-5-1.
It's 4-5-1. But if it was supposed to be 4-3-3, you would have a big, strong centre forward, and you would have right and left 2 lads who could catch pigeons, 2 lads who fly forward, or you have 3 world-class players. It only really works if you've got 3 world-class players up front. Otherwise, that you have to have flyers, and Everton haven't got either.
Or the other way, well, I suppose it plays into that. The other way it works is if you've got lads who are prepared to work hard and stop the ball coming out of the defence.
But I look tonight, and one thing I would say, or one thing I wouldn't say is, I don't think the players didn't put it in. I think the players put a lot in tonight. They're just not very good at the moment. It's just not working at the moment. I think I wouldn't look at a player and go, you haven't put a shift. Cuco Martina put a shift in tonight, no question about it. Kevin Morales put a lot. I've been critical of Kevin Morales at times, you know I have. But I thought he worked hard, certainly the first half. I thought all of them did. I don't think anyone strolled around. Klassen was everywhere trying to get in the game. It was just passing them by at times. And so I couldn't even sit here and go, you know what, they didn't fucking try tonight, they didn't show any heart, because I think they did, but I just think whatever the message is, or if they're not interpreting that message, it ain't working.
They look like a team, and I said this earlier on Twitter, they look like a team who aren't getting coached. Doesn't look like to me there's any coaching going on. There's not patterns of play being developed. There's not it looks like to me, you know, like when we used to play Sunday League, right? And you turn up every week and you knew the lads and you played footy with them, but it doesn't really mean anything more. You play your own game, do you know what I mean? You go out there, you play. It's not like you sit there, you don't like when you go to
training.
Exactly, you go to training on Wednesday night, you never give them a five-a-side or whatever. You don't sit down playing patterns of play. And that's what it feels like to me at the moment. It's just, they all know each other. They all train with each other, in loosely when I say training, but it doesn't feel like anyone's sitting them down and coaching them. Like, I was listening on the way home when I was at the radio and someone mentioned, I think it was before or after, someone mentioned David Moyes. And I thought, you know what, I mean, I'm not advocating David Moyes. I think his time has come and gone generally in club football. But there's a man who got the best out of all his players because you could see he was a good coach. He was a good coach, I think, who worked hard. And I think that's where Koeman's going wrong. Well, I do. I think he was a good coach.
He got the most out of his players.
I literally rinsed some of those every drop out of those players, and players responded to, like just people like Stephen Pienaar. Whereas I look at Koeman and listen, he'll use the excuse of not having the time, and that's fine if he wants to use that excuse. He keeps on churning out, and I understand that. We've said that ourselves. And he says, part of training is sitting down and watching videos and stuff like that. It's not. Sorry, it's not. That's informative, but it's not training. But I think that's one of the problems. You look at the team and you just think, how do we play? I look at other teams in the league and I go, well, I know how they play, I know how they play. Whether it works or whether it doesn't work, I know how they play.
Well, we had one thing you can't level at the fella who was in charge before, was we knew how he played. We knew what he wanted to do. It was blind faith, but we knew what we wanted to do. We knew he'd want us to pass the ball. We wanted over 500 passes a game. He said that to us when we sat down with him. It was about 500 passes a game. It was about dominating the ball. We knew that didn't work because he didn't have 3 world-class players up front that he needed for it to work, and he didn't. And his defensive skills are abysmal. But we knew what he wanted to do. David Moyes had a great mix. You know, I'm not saying David, again, we're not saying get David Moyes, but David Moyes had a great mix. What held David Moyes back was he didn't have any money. He didn't ever have any money to try and take that to the next level or to implement different things. But you knew that your team, if we had Moyes in charge now, not now, but if this was the period we were in, and we had David Moyes in charge, and we had just lost this game to Lyon, and we had Arsenal at home on Sunday, I'd be confident we'd win. I'd think we'll come out Sunday straight into them, get up like Troy Deeney, go to war with them, and we can beat these because they are bottlers. But I look at us now for Sunday and I just think we haven't got anyone who can do that. So we're going to have to try and play Arsenal at football, and they are much better than us. The biggest worry about that is because, and I've said this before, the manager can use that excuse, and it's a perfectly legitimate excuse that he doesn't get time to train them. You know, tomorrow will be, they'll get them into, they'll all be a Finch Farm, and it'll be recovery day, ice baths and all that malarkey, and then Saturday it'll be a little bit of probably shape work and that kind of thing, but it's the day before a game, and then you've got a game, and then it's the same next week. But my problem is, and this has been the problem since day one, is that simplify how you're playing football. Keep players in positions
Stop churning out different players in different positions every game. Keep it as simple as possible. I mean, you know, I go back to what we've said in the past. Not letting certain players bed in. So that, you know, the Classens and the Sandos, we look completely shot now because they weren't allowed that time to just bed in. Whereas the start of the season, it should have been about your Tom Davises and all your old reliable players, but it wasn't. It was all about the new shiny things. And listen, we all get caught up in that, of course we do. But there was no. I mean, the alarm bells were to me when at Man City when he brought on Sigurdsson and he brought on Klassen. And they were just ridiculous subs. Like Sigurdsson hadn't kicked the ball all summer, and he's bringing him on in a game where we were under the cosh. He took Ashley Williams off, and he brought Klassen and Sigurdsson on, and Sigurdsson was horrendous. And you're thinking, you've got a new £45 million player. Doesn't mean you have to use him. Doesn't mean you need him. He came on, and of course. They scored by going down the side Sigurdsson was on. I'm not saying it was Sigurdsson's fault, but what I mean was that's when alarm bells started to ring to me, thinking, is he just throwing everything and seeing what sticks? And I get the feeling he is. I mean, last season we talked so much about the circle of shite. It just feels again the same now, and it feels like he's waiting for something to click. It's not going to click. It's not. Number one, there is players now, and number two, the stakes are higher because we're going to be going out of cup competitions that we work so hard to get into, and you can't. If the expectations from last season have gone up, of course they have, because we've been sold those expectations by the owner and by the manager. I'll get you challenging for fourth next season. We'll be in Europe. We're going to get this player and that player. We'll be competing, and we're simply not. And in fact, you know, you start to really look over your shoulder now and think. I mean, I think Peter Reid said it earlier on the week. Does this team have does it have the heart if it hits, you know, if it hits the bottom three, the bottom four? That's the worry, isn't it? Going forward. I don't know. That worry,
I've got to say that in the past when we had the spell with Martinez where when we got beat at Stoke where it started looking, and remember that night at Stoke we lost 2-0 and it was dreadful, and it was like, whoa, we are in the shit here, and we won 5 games out of 6, and we say we kind of sorted ourselves out a bit, but we had Romelu Lukaku who could get us goals, and Ross Barkley. Now you look and you go, I've got that feeling where I'm looking to, and I know it's early and there's 30 league games, there's a lot of points, but I'm looking and thinking, who's our talisman? In them times when we were poor, Ron was still scoring goals, so you look at him and, well, if we can actually keep it tight, he'll get us goals, you know, so we can almost just defend and get him a chance, where now we've scored 5 league goals in 8 games. Some people are saying, leave Rooney out, the lad who's our top scorer with 4 goals. Clever. And I look at that team and I just think, who is going to get us these goals? Calvert-Lewin, bless him, you know, he's trying his best, and he's a good young striker, but he should be learning his trade. He hasn't scored a Premier League goal, you know.
Well, we've got to win one in 3 games for the rest of the season to stay up. This team doesn't look like it's capable of that at the moment. And
I mean, things can see. We sat here. I remember after Watford last year in December, and we sat here going, "Oh, this," and that, and Rom had scored 2 that day. I mean, got beat 3-2, and we were looking and going, "Okay, this team is doesn't. I don't know where we can get a win." And ironically, we had Arsenal 3 days later, and we ended up McCarthy getting stuck in, and again he'll play on Sunday. And we had Valencia who come in from the cold and done well that night, and Rom had a little goal, and we win the game 2-1. And all of a sudden things looked a lot. We lost the derby, but then we went to Leicester and won, and then we just got on that little roll. But we haven't got that. We still had players like Delafeu who were around. We still had match winners, whereas at the moment you're looking and going, we're not getting anything from anywhere.
The thing is,
but we have got good players.
The thing is that once we go back to Saturday, which won't be long, then probably things will settle down and get better. But that's sad because we'll be out of the European.
The progression. Where's the progression?
Well, we'll have taken 30 steps backwards to take one forwards.
Someone messaged me before and said it's go and have a look at Spurs in 2013 with Phyllis Bowes. When they sold Bale and brought all them players in, and he was gone by December.
Well, they got beat 5-0 by Liverpool, didn't they? I
remember. 5-0, yeah. Like that.
But that thing about that is, actually, some of those players actually turned out to be quite good, and some didn't. And even the mad thing is, some of those players that were there, he sold and used that money for Pochettino to get it. So it's not.
We've got. I've said this many times now. I think he's bought some good players. I don't think there's any question about that. I think the squad has got good footballers in. I don't doubt that. But for the way he wants to play, it doesn't make sense to me because he hasn't got. Who's the quickest player in our team? Would you say? Just off the top of your head.
Lookman's probably the quickest, but he doesn't play.
Right. Okay. Well, Calvert-Lewin's apparently the quickest, followed by Jagielka.
That's scary.
Which is berserk. Right. In terms of sprinting. Now, Calvert-Lewin to me doesn't look like a centre forward. That's threaded in and he's in on goal, like the pie.
Doesn't make that move.
But he doesn't make that movement anyway. So that's kind of out the window. Our wide players, Morales hasn't got any pace anymore. He's got nice touches and he's got a little burst over a couple of yards. That's it. Vlasic looks good. He doesn't look like lightning pace, but he's a nice player and he turns and he's strong. The big thing with him is his strength. Like you say, Lookman doesn't play. Aaron Lennon doesn't get near the squad. He's quite quick, but obviously he's not. So the wide areas that he wants to play that way, with one centre forward, hasn't got the right.
Work, does it?
It hasn't got the right players.
So the blend is not there. Yeah. If you haven't got a centre forward,
Balassi, if he can come back,
Balassi and
Coleman will give us that.
Listen, even when they come back, they're not going to come back till November, and they ain't going to be anywhere near ready till January. And then you worry, and then it's like you're almost like.
I remember Arteta come back after the knee, and he come back. I think we got beat by Blackburn at home in the FA Cup, I think, or Birmingham it was. Come on at half time, and he done all right in the next game. He was okay, and then he was crap for about 4 games because it's that adrenaline to get back. Then it's the lull, and then he kind of got his level back.
It's trust as well, isn't it?
And it's tackle, and it's am I all right when you first. I remember breaking my leg, and the first tackle, the first few tackles when you come back, you breathe. You're like, get up. Is it all right? And it's that confidence again of being able to go back into tackles.
It's also the problem of going from like 0 to 60, and then. Things are going to start pulling, especially for those kind of players. I mean, so second half, when obviously we've gone in 1-0 down. I thought we picked up in the second half of the first half, and we took that into the second half. Obviously, he took Klassen off, he brought Lookman on, and to be honest, Lookman looked bright.
Got a good shot, Johnny.
He's such a good player. Do you know, it's his decision making. He made one early on where he played a little 2-yard pass to Tom Davies, and it was short by 2 yards.
But again, that's not playing, isn't it?
But then he started playing. He started playing in the right areas, and I was saying before, do you know what? I'd love to see him play off a striker. Like
essentially, number 10.
We haven't got enough of them, have we? But I would love to see him actually play like as a second striker rather than number 10. Because he come on, looked bright. Holgate was pushing further forward, and we started looking bright, and we started creating things. They were all like bad shit houses, throwing themselves on the deck every 5 minutes.
I thought that took out. I thought we had a good 5 minutes, and then they took the momentum by going down and rolling around.
But then, and I think what we started to do as well, we started to go long, and they didn't like that. I don't think they liked us going long and getting physical. And the ref started to cotton on. But I thought he was a decent ref. He started, I mean, the kit was horrendous, but he started to cotton on what they were up to. He wasn't having any of it.
I'll tell you why he's shite. He blew up about 7 seconds before the break in the first half, 44 minutes and something. And was there only 5 minutes?
I don't know.
There should have been 15 minutes. Stop us 10. But it's only been 6-1 in the end.
But I thought we got more physical, and obviously the big kick-off in the Garda Street, I mean, it was... I don't know what Ashley Williams was doing to just jump into the keeper.
Because the keeper pushed him.
I know, but... done that last week for Wales.
And the keeper pushed him, so we just pushed him back.
No, he didn't. He threw his head in.
No, he put it.
And then so that kicks
keeper
off.
Rolls and falls on the floor.
That kicks off. It all goes off. They're in the crowd. The crowd are on them, which is great. Well done.
Move on.
No, we should talk about it. Let's talk about it for 2 seconds. You're a knobhead. Listen, you're a knobhead. I don't know who you are, but you're a knobhead. For 3 reasons. You threw whatever you threw, a slap at someone. I don't even think it was a punch. You've got hold of a baby with a dummy in its mouth, right? So that's terrible enough. What was your first game like a Goodison? Yeah, my dad threw his hand at a French person, right? And number 3, you've put us on the back page of every newspaper and all over Twitter, and we just look like bigger knobheads than we did already. So no,
he will 100% regret it. He's had a moment of madness, hasn't he?
They'll get banned.
He's had a moment of madness, hasn't he?
But that got the crowd going.
Got the players going.
Got the players going. It got that fire, which you didn't see out of anyone else. So fair play to Williams, as I said. I wasn't arsed by it. First play, he got
to be honest, I thought he was getting sent off.
Yeah, I did.
When he pulled him, I thought he had this.
But I thought that got everyone going, and for that little 10-minute spell, we were properly at it. We were throwing ourselves about. It was nice, and then obviously we get the free kick. Great. You know what? As soon as I seen the free kick, I knew it was in. I knew someone was going to score because
it was impeccable.
That was a £45 million free kick.
It was. No, it was. To be fair, it was impeccable because it just took about 9 men out the game. Yeah. He curled it through the only place he could. The keeper couldn't come for it, and it was a good connection.
And then obviously that gets everyone going, and then he does it again from the other side, and somehow it's the post, goes through everyone. It's the post, and that just shows how good a free kick it was by hitting the post. And then it sort of loops up, and then the French fella, or Lyon fella, just jumps up and it bangs him on the head, and go. And you're thinking if that had been against us, it would just hit someone on the arse and gone in.
Yeah.
And I don't know what. I don't know whether it did or not, but it almost felt like the air came out, almost like that was our chance. We took the lead then.
I think if we'd have took the lead then, but we'd have probably gone on and won the game because they'd offered very, very little, hadn't they? To be honest though, they kind of just held us at arm's length, I felt, until the kick-off. Once the kick-off went, and then the crowd started getting a bit noisy and a bit raucous, and the players were like, oh, this is Goodison, right? And they reacted a little bit. It kind of felt good, and we've hit the post. We were unlucky, but then. But
what I mean is, if it would have felt like sort of like the 1-2 punch, you know what I mean? How many times have we conceded?
Well, it was twice
exactly, and I think sometimes what I mean, if that had gone in, I think we would have gone on. But I'm not saying it deflated, but I think it was a case of they probably went, "Fucking hell, lads, come on, what are we doing here?" Do you know, like sometimes you need to do that. And that was where they settled down, probably just got their heads together a little bit.
But they scored soon after it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And it's stupid, isn't it? You know, Morales goes off. Someone said to me before it was an injury, but I don't know.
Well, he wasn't running. I'll be honest, right? I've got no issue with any of the subs. The Schneiderlin one was the right sub. Rather than put Garner on, he put Sigurdsson on and attacking midfielder. Luckman was the right sub for Klassen, and Sandro's a centre forward. We needed to win the game.
He didn't play centre forward.
Nobody never plays centre forward, but that's why. Where was Rooney? That was the thing for me. But he put Sandro.
I just thought that. I still thought Morales was keeping the shape, but
he didn't touch the ball. He hadn't touched the ball in the second half.
I know, but they might have scored. So
I'm gonna say
they go down there, right or left. Skin. The left back. Pulls it back.
What happened was they had the ball, got launched in, it broke, and our left back should have just put it into touch and got our shape, and he didn't. He hit the worst clearance ever with his left foot. That hit Sandro, and then Sandro, I don't know whether he passed it back, I think, to the wide player, and then we were running after him. Then it was like the Keystone Cops, and
he's back. He put it across. The fella's back heeled it. It's hit Michael Keane. Wrong foot at the keeper and gone in the back of the net.
Spawny.
And that's all she wrote. And we had a couple of. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had the keeper made it great. I mean, to be honest, it was a good cross from Sandro. Again, not in the box.
What's mad about him is he's supposedly.
He's not a centre forward. He is not a centre forward.
No, but he's not, because if you're a centre forward, you're in the box trying to cheat by not doing much, but open the ball drops you. You're trying to get on the end of things. You're trying to slide in on the goal line and take the final touch up. You can take the credit. That's what goal scorers do. That's the thing with Niasse, right? Niasse isn't a great footballer, as we all know, but he's hard working and he always wants to get in the box. He wants to be on the end of things because he wants to score goals. Sandro wants to do that thing on the wing where he drops the shoulder and cuts in and pops it. You can't do that. You might have been able to do it in Spain, but this doesn't happen in this country. And his confidence is shot as well, but he did put about 3 brilliant crosses and he put one to the back stick.
Maybe just play him like left wing all the time.
Right wing he needs to play, because that's where the crosses come from.
Play him right wing, play him left wing, whatever.
Left wing, it's where he plays. Play him on the right.
I don't know where he plays.
Just play him in the 23s.
Listen, you know what? I would take Sandro, I would take Klassen, and I think they're playing tomorrow at Finch Farm. I think it's like a 2 o'clock kick-off, and I would have them, both of them in the team. Not asked. You only played, one played 45 minutes, one played 20 minutes. I'd get them both in the side, and I'd give them 3 or 4 games, and I would say to them, get your confidence. Klassen, start playing in midfield and
play 90 minutes
and almost get that little bridge between what you have been doing and where you need to be. I heard on the radio on the way home, you know, Cundy was saying that somebody knows at Everton said he's nowhere near that level of playing, but that happens at times. That does happen. The Dutch league's mad. You get players from there and you go, you know, for every Suarez there's a Kesman and there's a Van Nistelrooy, and then there's that other one who played for Middlesbrough or whatever. And
there's Georgie Samaras.
Yeah, there's it's a mad league. You can, you know, and I would get both of them in the under 23s. Get Undry, giving them loads of confidence, telling them how great they are, all the rest of it, and get them going. Because in and out the team, I mean, that's what it's there for. It's a development team. So who do you want to develop? You want developed first team players. Look what it did for Nias last season.
Yeah.
Okay, it was unintentional in a way, but it gave him loads of confidence. And then he went to Hull and started putting the ball in the back of the net. Give them a game.
Footballers need to play football.
Yeah.
If training, okay, they still train with the first team. Of course they will, won't they? But they can play the games.
And you're tricking them as well, aren't you? You're almost tricking their mind into, you know, it doesn't matter that it's not the level.
It's muscle memory.
That's what but
everything is back to hitting the ball. Sandro scored 16 goals overall, 14 La Liga goals last year in 30 games. And then he went away with he hasn't really had a summer either, that's the other thing, but he went away and played in that tournament, didn't he, in Poland, 21 tournaments, and they got to the final. And then he had 3 weeks holiday, and then he was back in Everton. Yeah. Right? But he's not played 90 minutes, really, for us, has he? He's played bit, he got injured, then he come back in, and it stops that. So he hasn't scored a goal other than that one against Seville. And that was the first minute of that game, by the way, and that was it. He didn't score, you know. So he hasn't had that memory of putting the ball in the back of the net, and the goal will be like that to him now because he hasn't scored. And he's in a different country, playing a different way.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Take the pressure off the pair of them and go and have a couple of games for the under 23.
Get 90 minutes under your belt, get some tackles in there, excel at that level like you should, and then you come back in to the squad.
Because everything at the moment is pressure. Coming into a poor side, trying to find your feet. Just give them. To me, it doesn't make any sense that they're not in those sides. It just doesn't make. It baffles me sometimes. It really baffles me. They had a game in the week against Wolfsburg. Okay, it might have been too close. What was it, Monday night? Give them half an hour each. Just get them. I don't know, whatever it was. Tuesday. Just it baffles me or whatever. You know,
but they should be playing. There's no point at the moment because you're exploiting them by putting them in. You're making them look stupid. Because they're not at the level he needs to be, and they're obviously good players. Of course, Klassen's captain of Ajax. He's not crap at all. Sandro was a hot prospect. Atletico Madrid wanted him. It's just not happened for them. So get them games, get them 90 minutes, get them goals, get them assists, and like you've just said before, their confidence will grow.
I mean, obviously, listen, it was a mad game. Jordan Pickford ended up having to make 3 or 4 really good saves, but that was just the nature of the game. It was up and down. They were always they were fast on the break, and we were trying to get that equaliser, but we didn't. It's another defeat. We're very much on our arses. There's a fucking Cypriot team above us. A fucking Cypriot team.
It's because they've got more points than us.
Well, they have. That's generally our way.
By virtue of us switching off in the last minute, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. So 2 wins in 12.
So what now? What would it take for Ronald Koeman to be sacked? Do you believe?
I honestly, I think if we get beat Sunday by a couple of goals, I don't know how we can. I don't know how a manager could survive this run that they're on, other than the board don't feel they've got someone lined up who can do a better job. You know what I mean?
Short term, I mean, because people, well, obviously we play Chelsea on the Wednesday night, but we've got Unsworth, Joe Royle, Duncan Ferguson, John Ebrell. These people are at the club to keep things ticking over one way or another. Do you know what I mean? John Ebrell can take the 23s, Unsworth can come in. You've got Ferguson there. You've got Royle as a not as any management, but you know what I mean. Just in there, keeping an eye on things.
Of course, listen.
In the short term,
if the board decide, and the worrying thing for me, right, and the reason why I think it's a conversation we have to have is that there doesn't seem to be any shoots of recovery.
Nothing.
There was a little bit of a go because there was a kick-off, and so the players were pumped up a little bit and the fans were. Other than that, it wasn't anything we done. It was Ashley Williams having a bit of a scrap, and he's lucky that he stayed on the pitch. He could have been sent off, because these referees are like the dickheads. Could have been sent off, and we'd have been down to 10 men. It wouldn't have happened. So that's why you've got to look at it that way. I mean, you look around and you go, there's Ancelotti there, he's not coming to Everton, but there's like Tuchel and people. Sean Dyche has been mentioned, Sam Allardyce.
The ship needs to be steady, doesn't it?
Unless, if Ronald Koeman can't do it, then we need to look at someone who can. And maybe David Unsworth would come in and just get some organisation and some shape, or give them some confidence, or do things a bit different. Sometimes, rightly or wrongly, sometimes players need a different voice. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's right or it's wrong, because I'm not on the training ground.
But the sad thing is, though, is that it's not like most of these players have had this manager for a very long time. That's the most worrying thing for me. Do you know what I mean? It's not like the board at the voice, is it? So that's the worrying thing. It just seems that the manager can't get through to them what he wants. Or I don't know. It's
a mystery, because I've just listened. I was like you, driving in from the match then into the studio, and on a radio station they're talking about it, 2 pundits, and they're going on it and they're saying things, and you agree, you're going, it is that, and it does look like that, and that was a problem. And why was he allowed to leave when we didn't have replacements? And there's lots of things, and but when they say they're in free fall, they're rudderless, they're worried about it, you start looking and going,
sometimes you need an outside voice to tell you that, don't you? Because you don't want to believe things.
Look where we were, and we did say the week before the season, this is the best time because we're spending money and we haven't played any games of note. Would you believe that we would be having this conversation?
No, because I generally believed that regardless of almost how we played, we would win games of football just by being.
I honestly, I looked at us and thought we had a good side last season, or a decent side last season. Okay, we'd lost a big chunk of that with Romelu Lukaku and Ross. But I still felt with that the nucleus of that side there was still good players there, and we bought, like I say, some good players. So I just thought the natural progression of that would make us better.
And you have to trust the judgment of the people at the club as well,
of course.
Because up to that point they couldn't really be faulted for too much. So you have to trust that, and you have to trust when they're trying to get a centre forward and they tell you they're going to get a centre forward and they're going to get a left-sided centre back or a left back. You have to trust, because for me, I honestly thought no matter what, the last week of the transfer window, we would get a centre forward. It didn't have to be the biggest, shiniest name in the world, but I thought we'd get one. I thought we'd go out and get a left-sided centre back, come left back. Again, mightn't be the biggest name in the world, but someone would come in and just be a stopgap or a squad player. I never dreamed for a minute that we would not get those players. And you look at it now and you're looking and you're thinking, I know you've said a few times, well, what would it make a difference having someone like Giroud? But just having that presence that you could almost just throw a ball at them.
Giroud would make a difference, of course, because he scores goals. But what I'm saying to you is, when you have if it was me, if I was in charge of Everton and we'd got to the summer like we did, and Lukaku was going, I'd be thinking, like, okay, he's going and he's our talisman, okay? And I know what he was trying to replace the goals and all that, because there isn't many Romelu Lukaku's around. But I would have gone, okay, Olivier Giroud won him, right? And I've said it before, I'd have given him a deadline. He wouldn't have been, he wouldn't have strung me along. And if he did, I'd have gone and got someone else. And then if he comes back, I'd have to too. But also, I'd be thinking, well, hang on, he's not a sprinter. So we're not going to be able to turn teams with him. So what we will do is we'll have him to hold it. But if we need to break, I'm going to get a flyer, either right side or left side, who's going to be able to catch. So we can have an out ball who can get in behind teams or have people running off him. And that's why I can't understand now, when I look back, the recruitment policy, because I don't understand what was happening with it. At the time, I was delighted because I was thinking, like you, yeah, but he got all these, but they're still going to end up with a centre half and a centre forward at the very least, and probably a left back. Ronald Koeman said before the Chelsea game, which was the 26th of May, of August or whatever it was towards the end of the window, they asked him, were you confident? Yeah, still getting the centre forward, because he obviously thought Giroud was going to go, yeah, I'll sign. But it should never have got to that stage. We should have kicked off against Stoke with Giroud or somebody else. Bakambu was another one we could have had from Villarreal, scored goals. We could have. There's players there, Benteke we could have got early on. You know, Dembele from Celtic, I know he's been injured, but we'd have him now. You know, there was centre forwards there. I looked at those two centre backs tonight for Lyon. Like, they're not amazing, but they were fast and they were big, and they looked all right. And you're thinking we couldn't have got someone like that who could have just.
There's players like that all over Europe that are good players. The French league's full of them, full of fast, strong players.
We could have had Sanchez, who went to Spurs. We got offered him in May. We could have had Casper Dolby. We could have had Traore.
And the other thing about Traore. And the other thing about those kind of players as well, they ain't buttons compared to what they were there in the Premier League. It's not hard to get them. You throw money at Lyon, you throw money at the player, they're there.
That's the thing that makes me struggle now, because I just think he's backed himself into such a corner, or someone has.
He's backed himself into into his garage, because that's where he looks like he's sleeping.
At this moment in time, it's hard to see how it will turn out.
Carry on as well, because he looks rough as well.
He probably can't believe it himself, though.
Have he took his suit off him?
He probably can't, but he probably can't believe it himself, can he? He's probably stood there going, what the hell is going on here? Isn't he?
I don't know. If you know what's going on, let us know in the comments, because we are scratching our heads.
Play two strike.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What?
My ass is back Sunday.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments, where it's going to end, when it's going to end, for Ronald Koeman maybe. And all those fun things. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.